So, good morning. This is the start of a personal diary of work on GestureLabs. So, over the next period of time, hopefully, we'll get funding and or more funding. We have a little bit of funding now, but I want to just start keeping a video diary of what we're doing and see how this grows over time. So, the project GestureLabs is to address the need for people who cannot communicate with words, people, nonverbal people who can't talk. And most of these people do have tools potentially available. Not everyone can afford them, but there are tools, and these are called alternative augmentative communication. Maybe it's augmentative and alternative communication. I always forget. AAC. And basically, the way these tools work is they're based on the idea of a book. It used to be that people who couldn't speak would have a book of pictures or a piece of paper with pictures, and they'd point to what they needed. So if they're hungry, they'd point to the picture of food. And when digital came along, this was moved over. So now there's grids. So you have grids of pictures, and the systems can be smart, so they can suggest different grids. They can learn which words you like. But you still need to, in some way, be able to point at a word or a picture. And some people can't do this with a finger because they might have disabilities that prevent this. So then they can do it with their eyes. They can use eye pointing, and they look at something for a certain amount of time and then it's selected, or they might do it with their breath. So they might use their head. There might be like a little dot on their head that's traced, and they point towards the thing and then they blow to select it. There are different methods, and these are great for a lot of people, but there's some people who for whatever reason, either don't like to use these systems or aren't able to use these systems. Maybe they have intellectual disabilities and they just don't get it, or for assortment of reasons. And we are in the process of building a system for these people. And the basic idea is that many of these people communicate in their own language. It's a combination of hand gestures, facial expressions, sounds, and other factors. And we're hopeful that we can use machine learning to be able to pick up these signals, anything that someone can do that we can pick up as a signal, and we can use this to create a dictionary. So we say that, if someone goes like this, it means they're hungry. If they go like this, it means I love you, or maybe it means me. The catch is that each person has their own, each of these people has their own individualized language. Because of their disabilities, they're not able to learn a standardized sign language. So we need a system that can learn how each individual communicates, and that's what we're in the process of building. So this diary, we've been working on this system on and off for a couple of years now. We've got a little bit of funding through the Open University, not nearly enough, I dare say, but it is what it is, and we're grateful for the funding we've gotten. And right now we're really trying to get new funding in so that we can get more people. Right now we have 2 people funded part-time, myself, even though I'm working full-time on this, and we have another person, Esmail, who's working on machine learning algorithms. We have some other people who volunteer a bit of time to the project. I guess we have about maybe 6 or 7 people involved. However, I'd love to have the funding so that I could hand over more of the development work. So in this diary, I'll just talk a bit about what I'm working on in developing the system, where we're at, and just kind of keep updates on it. So right now, I've been working on designing the system. If you go onto our Open Collective page, and there's an image of what the system looks like. It's a little complicated. Basically, we have our things to gather data, so like a camera, a microphone, and then we need to process that data. Then we need to run machine learning on it to try and figure out what it means. And then we'll be outputting the message of what it means. And this seems kind of simple, but there's a lot of pieces to it. The system has to learn the individual. We need a way to correct it if it's coming up with the wrong thing. These are all part of this system. So, whoops. So that's what, sorry, my monitor just went off. So that's what we're working on now. Right now, I've mostly been working on defining all these pieces in the system and figuring out what technologies to use for it. Right now, so I started doing it all in Python. Luckily, we're in a time where there's a lot of free stuff you can use to build a system like this, and we're only trying to use free things because the idea is that this should be an affordable system, that anyone in the world could use the system for free, or if they want to build a system with devices, they could buy off-the-shelf devices, put it into the devices, and then run it. So you can imagine that someone on their wheelchair has a camera, a microphone, a little box with a little computer in it, and then with this they'd be able to communicate. Probably an output device. They need an output device also. That could be a screen and a mic and a little loudspeaker. So right now we're focusing on the cloud usage of the system, but trying to build it in a way that it'll also work on these devices, that we can port it over. I started with Django because that's something I'm somewhat familiar with. However, now I'm in the process of moving it all over to Fast API. So one of the big problems is that we've got to do a lot at the same time, right? Each of these classifiers, these machine learning algorithms, has to be running at the same time. So the first version I built in Streamlit. I can put a link to the, I'll put in the comments, I'll put a link to the first version. It almost worked, but not quite. But Streamlit is really not set up to deal with this kind of multi-thread processing. It's just too much for it. Maybe if we had spent enough money on enough server space, but I just started to get the feeling that it was the wrong tool for this. So now doing with Fast API, which is more set up for asynchronous processing, multi-threading, all of that. I think that's what we need. And where we're at right now is the system is basically designed with all the various modules. I'll put a link to that. The GitHub is up and running, and all open source, of course. And if anyone out there would like to be part of this, I'd love to hear from you. And we will be looking for contributors. Straight up, at the moment, we have no money, so we can't pay anyone. But, hopefully that'll change. We're in the process of trying to get an EU Horizon grant to expand the project, and various other sources. So if anyone out there would like to get involved, or if anyone would be in any way interested in supporting it, that'd be great. I'll put the link to the Open Collective site where people can donate, and love to hear from you. So that's vlog number 1. We'll see where it goes from here. Have a great day.